But to mention, we have two recent champions of our districts. That is District 121 and District 122 champions. Vania and Thomas are with us. So now we will hear from them what were their signature speech. What I say. Vania. Now, Vania, your winning speech. I want some glimpses of that. Over to Vania.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hassan. I am so overwhelmed and in awe by Toastmaster Thomas's speech. I absolutely forgot about what my speech was. Toastmaster Thomas, that was brilliant. I loved it. I wish I could see it sometime, like you performing. That would be great. So if I talk about my speech, well, like I said, take inspiration from around you, make it relatable. That's exactly what I did. The phase that I was going through, I simply implemented that in my speech, not able to find a job and being under immense pressure. Because once you get a degree, the next thought is I'm going to get a job just like that. And it's not that easy. You have to keep on applying, and the process is a little strenuous. And the pressure is even more, it's nerve-wracking. So I kind of included that in my speech. Like I start with I included, so I belong from Karachi, and Karachi has one of the most terrible traffic situations. So I started with that. I included that the traffic situation in Karachi it's terrible, and it's even more terrible when I have to go for a job interview and I reach there late, and punctuality is like one thing that they see, and I'm late, and that already makes me nervous and this and that. So I carry on with that, and I say that such thoughts echoed my mind as I lay in bed, and I decide to step outside in the courtyard and take a walk. And as I'm walking, I notice that the weather has gone unreasonably cold. And I wonder, Karachi is not this cold at this time of the year. And all of a sudden, a gust of wind started to blow, shaking the trees as there is seaweed underwater. Now, this was, you can say, a simile. The trees were shaking like seaweed underwater, or the gust of wind started to blow. I did not just say it, a gust of wind just started to blow. Say it as if a gust of it starting to blow, shaking the trees as there's seaweed underwater. Myself even moving as if I were a tree and I was moving like a seaweed. And then everything came to a halt. I say that, and I'd say that with like finality, as if my speech is coming to a halt. And then I talk about it that out of nowhere, the gust of wind has brought in some good news. And that news is bed isn't like, so Karachi has a public transport, and the public transport is very colorful. You must have seen it. It's the buses are really colorful, and they're amazing. I mean, it's even kept in London in a museum. It's that beautiful. So so one of those buses is right outside my gate, and I see a very strange man stepping outside, like stepping out of the bus in slow motion, with the silver cape blowing behind him, with Air Jordan's X, the Grim Edition, the only title meeting his vibe. Now, I did a bit of research if Air Jordan's X, the Grim Edition, actually exists, and guess what? It did. So that was like some of the research that I did, if it does. So I tried to make that character look very strange, yet someone very attractive that you cannot take your eyes away from. And that person has brought some good news for me. And that news is that I have gotten a job. And that job is none other than maintaining traffic law and order in the city. Something that I'm bothered about. And the other thing that I'm bothered about is not getting a job. So I get to solve both problems. And okay, so as my introduction included the part about me being a fan of Harry Potter, and if you've watched Harry Potter or read Harry Potter on the brighter side, you would know that they ride broomsticks in the air. So that is like a childhood dream. Well, not to ride a broomstick in the air, I wish I could, but to like fly. So that dream kind of comes true in my story, as my the person who has come like with the good news, I call him Maestro. Maestro as in master or boss, in simple words. He gives me a box and he says, you will be doing your job while wearing these. So maestro is Italian for master or boss or teacher. So I obviously had to include the Italian accent. You will be addressing me as maestro, and I have brought you this. And I hand over the box, like he hands me the box, and I take it, and it has rollerblades inside. And those are not just any rollerblades, those are anti-gravity rollerblades. You wear them, you take a few strides, and you are up into the air. Now, here comes a very good pun. I loved it. When I thought of it, I was like, brilliant. I'm going to use it in my speech. The rollerblades were powered with rocket science. Now, rocket science means something else, literally. But what I meant in my speech was rocket science so that my shoes could make me go faster. The acceleration would make me go faster. So the shoes were powered with rocket science. And well, we immediately begin. We take a few strides and we were up into the air, going left and right, missing out the electricity poles, going under the wires. And what I can see an endless forest of concrete. Now, what I mean by this is the buildings. Karachi is barely green. It's all buildings, houses, apartments, and just concrete. An endless forest of concrete. So we are dodging the buildings and I'm noting down the traffic violations. And even at that time of the night, the traffic is terrible. And it's so terrible that my phone starts becoming super hot. Now, this is where I've used another prop. My first prop was the shoe box. My shoes, I actually show shoes that are strange. They actually have like a space print on it. So I show those shoes in the camera, and then this spare phone, of course, not this phone. It starts to become super hot because I'm so like tagging traffic violators so that the police can catch them later. Becomes so hot that it explodes. And when I say that it explodes, I throw the phone away. It falls on my mattress, so it's all safe. So I throw the phone away as if there was an actual explosion. And I even am tossed at the side. And the explosion was so big that I am catapulted into the sky. And the acceleration has ignited the rocket science on my rollerblades. And I enter the space and I collide with the International Space Station. Everything goes black. What I see around me before passing out is debris everywhere. Now, this is where the pause is. This is where what I'm seeing around, as if I've actually blacked out and the only bits and pieces I can see is the items around me is a mic, a camera, and comms attached to the International Space Station. So I tried to contact Maestro so that he can come and rescue me. And I tried to do that. Maestro, where are you? And he says, girl, where have you gone? He says out of exasperation, and he figures out that I'm in space and he face bombs himself and like thinks this girl can never get a job for a good reason. And here I am, like in space, lost, wondering if I'll be getting a job here now. Now, this shows having hope nowhere because like the job arrived out of nowhere. So, I can just hope to get a job in space. So I leave the audience at that point. I don't know if they were laughing, they were wondering, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's new. So this is where I left my audience at. And the points where I think my speech had the spice was the Italian accent. And the props that I was using are me throwing the phone because even after area contest, the division contest and the district contest, me throwing the phone was kind of the highlight. Like people were like, why did you throw your phone? You could have broken it. I'm like, no, that was not my actual phone. That was a spare one. So, something funny, something a little different outside the box that no one else would be doing, and something that shows you something that you can relate with and in general people can relate with. If you are implementing that in your speech, you've got it. And when in contest, just the one thing that my mentor told me, and I have like engraved it in my mind. The point is that don't like make it relatable only to a fewer people. Like we do not know who our judges are. We do not know who will be attending the contest because there are people all over the world coming in. So my story, the bus that I'm talking about, only mostly people in Pakistan know about it. So I had to change that in the district contest, and I included some other mode of transport, mode of vehicle or whatever, so that the rest of like the judges or people attending from abroad can understand what I'm talking about. So make it generally understandable, make it generally relatable, and just have fun. You've got it. Just believe yourself, have faith, and yeah, you've got it. If you like the speech, believe me, the audience will too. In the end, winning and losing is in the hands of the Almighty. So if you have faith in yourself, if you are having fun, if you inner self believes that, yes, this is the best I'm doing and it's great, you're already a champion. You don't need to worry about anything else. So I wish the very best to my fellow Toastmasters, whoever is present here. And even if someone's not here, I wish them all good luck. And yeah, you all are champions, mashallah. Thank you so much.
Okay, Vania, we also invite you